Okay, so we had a possum getting into our rabbitry, and that little booger found the only weakness that we had. We had a place right here where he could get in, and then when I kind of cinched that down, the booger went and ate a hole through the fence. I found out where he was getting in and how he's getting in. He's climbing up here and pushing his way in, right here. And right down there is his tracks. But all of these right here are busted. And he's he's climbing up right here, He's pushing his way in right here. And then when he's done, he's leaving. And he's got all of this stuff tore up right down here. Stretched out, I mean. So we set out a live trap and proceeded to catch 2 raccoons and not the possum. And so to alleviate the problem, what we did is we put in an electric fence. We went right here and we come around. And it's hot. Yeah, I'm nervous. I don't get near it. We put an electric here. We went down, and we put an electric here, and we put it all the way down the whole back of the barn. One down low and one up high. And so far, it has worked great. No more possum. Nothing has broken in. There are tracks back here, like they have attempted it. But, yeah, so far so good, okay? Now, something else that I did that I want to show you is when we were putting the tarps and stuff down, we also took these strings, and not only did I tie them to the inside of the barn, but I also took that gate. That was close. Also took that gate. I guess I should have unplugged that thing. But we also took the strings and I tied them around the ropes, around the wire on the inside to cinch it more up against the 2x4s. So close some of that dead space we weren't aware of. Don't touch the electric fence. It's Labor Day morning.
So what you doing?
I got drafted into the concrete moving business.
Concrete? What you doing with concrete?
We are making some dry bed floor for our rabbit nursing pens boxes. All of our babies have really been getting wet. The mamas, though, have done something we were not anticipating. They get in there and they dig the dirt and the rock and the gravel and they bury their babies. And we're not talking like burying them in a nest. We're talking about burying them in a sarcophagus. And so we're going to take away the dirt digging option, make some solid floors, and then make up for it with a lot of hay and straw. And we're going to dry up the bottoms some moisture, because we've laid plastic down the ground, so that moisture can't get up through the bottom either. And then we've provided better drainage. And we're hoping this concrete and rock and then plastic barrier will provide insulation, moisture barrier, and keep them also from burying their babies. Now we haven't done all 16 pens, nursing pens. We've only done, because it's an experiment, we've only done 5. But I was well pleased with the one that we did last night, just trying it out. So we decided to go ahead and do 4 more to start with, and see what kind of results we get.
We're not burying them because they don't like them. They're burying them because they think that that's the entrance to their den, and they're trying to protect the babies from predators, but they're covering the nest box instead of the opening hole. If they dug and covered up that, it wouldn't be a problem. But they go down to the other end and they dig all this dirt out until it's covering the nest box. And they've killed some. Some we've saved because we found them in time, but it's getting very frustrating losing them for no reason. So I guess it's my turn. I'm the smoother outer.
So we were also making concrete flooring out of our nest boxes. And what we did is we put a plastic bag down on the ground, and we laid some rock, and then we concreted it in so that it would be a dry, solid surface. Nobody came up with a 101 colony raising rabbit book in Kentucky. I mean, there's information pieced together here, there, and yonder, and a lot of people do, of course, cages, and then there's barns with cages and all that kind of stuff, but we really wanted a open facility, and so we're still having to work out some of the kinks. So drying up the nest boxes has been a real blessing. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so we have a nest box right here. Now this one's empty. I don't want to mess with it, but we did 6 of these. But if you look, it's really nice and deep, and then you get down to a nice solid thing. And these nest boxes, man, they have gotten in there and they have really worked on them here in the last couple of days. So I think it's going to be a great addition to our barn. So here we are at HopLow Rabbitry, and we are tarping our roof barn with an agricultural tarp. We've had the hardest time, even with that old metal and the paint that we've put on. Hello, Miss Susan. It's our anniversary today. Keeping the water and some of the other things out. So we're going to tarp it and drape the tarp over the edge and see if we can at that point get the water to run off the edge and dry up our rabbitry even more. So Miss Susan is hammering the grommets in the middle of the thing to hold up the tarp. Let me turn around here and I'll show you the other end that's done. This is where we've smoothed it out on the roof. Baby sheep, ah! So I guess wind has been our biggest worry with doing the tarps on top of the roof, because we've seen what the wind can do when you just have them covering hay. I mean, now these agricultural tarps that we've got, pretty heavy duty, and they really do hold up so much better than the others that we've gotten in the past. But you know, Susan and Tyler came up with some really good points. Since we're putting it over an old metal roof that we just throwed up, and we're trying to basically seal the creases and the crevices and everything where it comes from, the wind really doesn't have an opportunity to get up underneath the tarp to pick it up and carry it off. So I was worried about a heavy snow, you know, what would happen if we had a heavy snow, but I don't think that the tarp is the problem with heavy snow, it's just the wood structure underneath. And again, Tyler had a really good idea. He said we could just take our heaters and turn them on, the heat would go up and it would melt the snow off of the roof. I think 99.9% of the time that would work just fine, as long as we didn't have one of those 1948 blizzards, you know, that dumped 24 inches in 8 minutes or something or another, which 2020 is not over, so we'll see. Shh, shh, shh.